Hi, this is Eli Sagi in Sig Figs project. So Sig Figs have rules, and the first rule is that every laboratory number is significant. Rule number 2 is that every digit besides 0 is significant, but there are different rules for 0. Rule number 3 is a middle 0 is always significant, meaning that if it's 303, the 0 would count because it's in the middle. Rule number 4 is that a leading 0 is never significant. For example, 0.11. The 0 wouldn't count and would just have two sig figs because the 0 is the leading 0. Rule number 5 is a trailing 0 always counts. For example, 1.0, there would be two sig figs because the 0 is a trailing 0. And the last rule is all significant numbers have to have a unit because it is a measurement. So if you have 55 and you have two sig figs, it would have to be 55 grams or moles or whatever unit you're using. So you can also add and subtract sig figs, and you do that by the number of decimal places in the answer should be the same as the number with the least decimal places in the question. For example, 21 grams minus 13.8 grams. So there's, in the first 21 grams has no decimal point, so the answer is not going to have not going to be a decimal. So the answer is 7 grams, which has one sig fig. Because it wouldn't be 7.2 because 21 has no decimal points, so it doesn't matter that it's 7.2. You can also multiply and divide sig figs. The amount of sig figs in the answer should be the same as the number which has the least sig figs in the question. For example, like 1.05 times 10 to the negative third moles divided by 1.25 moles. So what you would do is 1.05 has 3 sig figs because it's a middle 0, so that counts. And the bottom has 1.245, so that's 4 sig figs because every digit counts besides 0. So we would use 1.05, which is 3 sig figs, and you would get 0.843 times 10 to the negative 3 moles. And it has 3 sig figs because a leading 0 never counts, and 843, that's 3 sig figs. You can also add and subtract and multiply and divide in the same question. You first do the adding / subtracting part of the question. After you do that, you do the multiplying and dividing. For example, the question is 15.5 grams subtracted by 23.056 grams added by 104.0 grams and then 1.245 moles. So the first step is to do the adding and subtracting part, which you get is 96.4 grams. You get that because 15.5, 23.056, and 104.0 grams. The one that has the least decimal places is 15.5 and 104.0. They just have one number after the decimal, so you get 96.4. And 1.245 stays the same. And when you divide it, you get 77.4 grams per mole, and that's because in the question 96.4 grams divided by 1.245 moles, 96.4 grams has the least sig figs, which is 3 because every number counts besides 0. So you have 1 is 9, 2 is 6, and 3 is 4, so that's 3 sig figs. So you get 3 sig figs. Thank you.